So for this presentation, I will be focusing on the importance of being knowledgeable about what statutory rape is and the consequences it can lead to. So in that case, do you know what statutory rape is? So for some background terms, what is the definition of statutory rape? It is consensual sex or sexual activities involving someone below that state's age of consent. What is age of consent? It is defined as the legal age an individual is capable of consenting to any form of sexual activity. This issue mainly applies to teenagers, adults, and the parents of the teenagers. So we already have statutory rape laws, but why do we have these laws and what good are they doing? So these laws suggest that they deter people from doing the written law of statutory rape. In this case, statutory rape laws are a measure to protect minors from unwanted pregnancies and to protect them from predatory relationships. It is also a way to deter minors from engaging in sexual activity because they are not yet emotionally mature enough to engage in the activity. A case that mentions the importance of statutory rape laws to deter teen pregnancy is Michael M. v. Superior Court, which establishes that both males and females can be criminalized for underage sexual activity and not just males like Michael M. was. So this issue is already complex enough, and it doesn't help that there are many other issues involved. For example, there isn't a universal age of consent, which means that laws are going to vary and violations will look different depending on the location the activity took place in. It used to be that boys would be prosecuted for having sexual relations with girls of the same age, but now it requires that the perpetrator be so many years older than the victim. However, the number of years also varies depending on which state the activity took place in. So as you can see on the upper right-hand corner, I included a map of the United States along with a key below it, which is the age of consent, ranging from 16 to 18. You can see that Ohio up here is blue, which means that the age of consent in Ohio is 16 years old. So to look more into the age span, Ohio, as you can see down here, is the 1972, which was the year that the adoption of age span provisions for statutory rape laws enacted. I didn't include the rest of the 1900s, closer to 2000s, just because I wanted to include where Ohio was. So, to give an example of a statutory rape scenario, I will be stating the facts of the case between State v. Yanez. This case took place in 1998, where the defendant was 18 years old and had consensual sexual relations with a 13-year-old girl, who later fell pregnant. The defendant claimed that he was told she was 16 and therefore didn't know she was 13. Yanez made allegations to prove he was aware of her age, but had no hard evidence, and therefore his allegations were irrelevant. The 13-year-old falsely accused Yanez of being the father of the child, but Yanez was charged with child molestation and statutory rape in the end. So I looked into a middle school study to look at where statutory rape starts in society. And this study was taken in New York between 2009 and 2010 of the school year. And this study was to look into dating violence. So prior to this study, note that 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys may have already experienced sexual abuse by adults and older children. Results from this study were gathered from 30 different schools in New York, and the study shows that those who experimented with dating experienced more sexual violence than those who did not experience with dating. It was found that boys had a higher rate of reporting victimization and perpetration than girls. Students that attended anti-violence programs found no change in victimization reports, but there were more perpetration reports since students knew what they were looking for. Unwanted sexual contact already occurs in the middle schools, and there's a higher risk when a relationship or when someone is in a relationship, and effective prevention can help lower the risk. So, what are some ways we can prevent statutory rape? So, although a lot of these issues are out of our control and are more federal or government issues, there are many ways we can approach this problem. For example, one could use a similar strategy when teaching about sexual assault, and when it comes to noticing it and preventing it, they can use similar tactics to sexual assault victims. So, teaching about statutory rape alone will shed more light on the issue, but teaching about awareness and trauma will help voices to be heard and allow the public to be educated. This could mean holding conferences in communities for parents to learn about risk of their child and around the age and what it could mean. This may be a small step to improving this issue, but I personally never heard of statutory rape until I was 19 years old, and having more outreaches and classes and awareness programs could help increase awareness. That is all. Thanks.